Hello, this is Dr. Archibald. This is a mini lesson on Williams, the first one. So he says, every style, even the most transparent style, is a choice. And I would add that it's also um, it's also rhetorical, meaning that the writer has some kind of purpose for it, um, and it's directed towards some audience. So Williams starts in the first part by talking about grammar. The author, Williams of Style, opposes mere good grammar without clarity and grace, a style that follows the rules but is opaque, does not communicate, or you might say that an opaque style makes the reader work, while a style that is clear allows ideas to shine through. Yet a transparent style may also have hidden motives. You read something that is clear and transparent and do not necessarily interrogate it. If something is more densely written, then or maybe densely written and also written with a more elaborate style, then you have to work at understanding and might in the process discern hidden motives or might discern um, particular motives. They don't have to be hidden. Of course, an opaque style might just be an obfuscation, something that is written to hide the truth. But if you can't understand what the person is saying, then you ignore the message at your peril. Talking and speaking. If the message is clear but graceless when it is more talking rather than speaking, as in making a speech or more specifically writing a speech or simply writing. Talking is off the cuff, but most of us talk in clear and grammatically correct language. Someone might write a comparison of William F. Buckley's talking and Trump's talking. The one feels like it is being written as he speaks, while the other feels like it is being fired out of a gun. One with an excess of grace and the other graceless. One that appeals to a certain class, Ivy League educated, while the other appeals perhaps to the working class. Um, Entry to the meritocracy. They, the proponents of plain style, make a distinction between clarity and grace. For convenience, the plain style and depth of difficulty. Are they a false choice? I think that Williams wants uh, what Williams wants is for the student to conform to an organization speak to in order to get admission to the meritocracy. Now, that is not a bad thing if that is what you want and or need. Someone like our new president eschews the plain style for something more crass because he has power and money. Most of us need to learn the plain style, clarity and grace, in order to advance. We are going to be hired and promoted because we can communicate, and the currency of communication these days is the plain style. If you are a poet or rap singer, you don't need to use the plain style, although you may want to learn it for those times that you're not being poetic or rapping. You point to emotions and feeling rather than convenience and utility. But it is not only utility, it is a certain pleasure too. Right. So style gives pleasure. It's not just you do it because it works or it's something that you do at work. You do it because it's fun. So not bureaucraties. Um, uh, Such language is clear water. It is not clear water. It's something natural or clean. Then again, the bureaucracy may not want clarity and grace because they are in the business of hiding things, or at least in being opaque to frustrate customers who they see as uninitiated. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking more like the czarist bureaucracy in the 19th century. But anyway, yeah, most bureaucracies, we have to really be initiated in order to understand them. There's piles and piles of things we have to read in order to enter into any kind of bureaucracy, may it legal or medical or or even uh, even educational. There's lots and lots of things they put out there for us to read that we have to understand in order to get into to the bureaucracy, whatever it is. Okay, so bureaucracies have no audience awareness. Um, although they're improving, probably you could say, because they are insulated from those they wish to help, or it's just a matter of bullheadedness or laziness or pique. A man with a little bit of power wants to conserve that power and not allow those who use a particular service to understand what is really going on, because then they might complain that said service is not effective. And that's really the complaint, these days. I mean, in education, it's become customer service, which is a whole problem in itself. But if the language is sufficiently opaque, then the customer is not helped and leaves confused and disempowered. Um, Obfuscate. Politicians are like this too, in ways that they refuse to answer direct questions. They talk about general policy instead, because they do not want to commit to a particular set of actions until they are ready, or they are hiding what they really are going to do until they have sufficient cover for their proposals. This is called to obfuscate, render obscure, unclear, unintelligible. Of course, you can obfuscate in many different ways. One is to bluster and never get to the question, and in fact, to threaten and intimidate the questioner. And we see this all the time with Trump's minions. Another way is to answer a question that is not being asked, or to answer the question you want to answer. Language can do all these things, language and style. The plain style wants the most direct line from my pen mouth to your brain. This takes into consideration that I revere you as a reader, I meaning the writer. If I don't care about you, or am lazy or less knowledgeable, I will obfuscate, knowingly or unknowingly. I, again, is the writer here. If I want to manipulate you, as in propaganda, then I will speak to your fears and tell you what you want to hear. The plain style assumes that you care that your audience reader, you meaning the writer, and understands exactly what you want to say. There is credibility and ethos present in both sides, the writer speaker and the reader audience member. Williams' priorities. Not just good grammar, but clarity and grace. This ignores the social and political aspects of style, something that the book does not, his book, Williams's book, does not entertain, but something that we will consider at various points in the course. Thank you.